Can we have everyone's attention, please? There you go.
Hi, thank you for coming today. Oh, just Senator Ben Allen walking. Welcome, Senator Ben Allen as well. Only just today. Senator Joel Anderson, old friend, Senator Ben Allen, Richard Bloom just was here, Steve Sand, and many others of our old friends and new friends. And also today we have one of my colleagues at the Rotary, Westwood Village Rotary Club, and also Steve, they represent the Rotary International. We have a special presentation today, and we're going to take care of it from now, and we're going to talk about it.
Well, good morning, everyone. Again, as Ruzbeh said, I'm Steve Day. I'm past president of Westwood Village Rotary Club. I'm also our representative to the Rotary Foundation. The Rotary Foundation started over 100 years ago with a contribution by one of our past presidents of Rotary International of $26.50 in 1917. Today, that foundation is now in excess of a couple of $1 billion. That's billion with a B, $1 billion. Rotary Foundation is probably one of the most recognized philanthropic foundations in the world. And we as Rotarians over the years have supported that foundation to where it now does work, good work throughout the world, both here locally as well as throughout the nations of the world. One of the things that Ruzbeh wanted to do was to honor his new son Damavand by making Damavand a Paul Harris Fellow. One of our fellow members, Phil Gabriel, came up to you a moment ago and said, Steve, do you think Damavand might be the youngest Paul Harris Fellow ever? At 2 months and 2 days? He might be. We'll have to look into that. Well, let's just say he's probably the youngest, well, not probably, he is the youngest Paul Harris recipient that I've had the pleasure of making a presentation to. So if you don't mind, I'm going to read a little bit here about the process and about how we go about as Rotarians making one of our own, Damavand, a Paul Harris Fellow. The presentation of a Paul Harris Fellow recognition is the Rotary Foundation's way of expressing its appreciation for a $1,000 contribution to its humanitarian and educational programs. It is named for our founder, Paul Harris, a Chicago lawyer who started Rotary International with 3 business associates in 1905. Rotarians often designate a Paul Harris Fellow to honor friends or family members. Today we have the honor and pleasure of recognizing Damavand Farahanipour as he becomes a Paul Harris Fellow. He has been designated to receive this recognition by his father, Ruzbeh, who, as we all know, is a Westwood Village Rotarian and a Paul Harris Fellow himself.
Oh, wow.
Ruzbeh, it's because of gifts like the ones that you've made in Damavand's honor that Rotary Foundation is able to carry out an array of programs that achieve beneficial changes in our world, improve living conditions, increase food production, better education, wider availability of treatment and rehabilitation for the sick and disabled, new channels for the flow of international understanding, brighter hopes for peace. A contribution to the Rotary Foundation is an investment in the ideal of goodwill, peace, and understanding. This is an ideal held by Rotarians the world over, and one that our future Rotarian, Damavand, will one day clearly share. Ruzbeh, on behalf of the trustees of the Rotary Foundation, and on behalf of your fellow members of the Westwood Village Rotary Club, it gives me great pleasure to present to you, on behalf of your son Damavand, the emblems of appreciation given to a Paul Harris Fellow, the certificate, which I have right here, and if you give me an opportunity, I'll read that in a second, as well as the Paul Harris pin. We generally pin it on our recipient, but you know what, I'm just going to hand this to him. Let me read the certificate, if you don't mind. The Rotary Foundation of Rotary International, Damavand Farahanipour, I practiced too, is hereby presented a Paul Harris Fellow in appreciation of tangible and significant assistance given for the furtherance of better understanding and friendly relations among the peoples of the world. Ruzbeh, thank you so much on behalf of your fellow Rotarians.
Thank you.
And And let's all stand. Let's all stand and welcome our newest farmers.
You look over here, please. Everybody look over here, please. Roosevelt, can you look over here, please? Thank you. Senator Joel Anderson and Consul General of the Greece. And thank you everybody else, everyone here. And Steve Stan from
Ben Allen?
and Councilman have some certificate today with him, and you want to present it to Damavand.
Although I'm not dressed appropriately because I just came from playing in a softball game, City Hall softball game. But it's my honor to give the new baby his first certificate. And it says happiness is from the state of the city of Los Angeles.
Very nice.
So beautiful.
Roosby, you should be over here, next to your son. No, no.
Look over here. Sometimes we sit down and lunch. Now is the time to cut the cake. Sure. You want to take the cake to the other table? Now, you have your voices. More people. Sima Khanum. Sima Khanum. Ready? We're gonna cut the cake. 1, 2, 3. One cake, everyone is coming. Will you get a free? Not yet. One in the plate. Excuse me, hold on. Let me take a photo. Roosevelt, look over here. Thank you for قسم قشنگ